What's up, everybody? We got Sexy X here, Fish Up the Doggy, and we also have Root Beer Guy casting.
Yes.
What's up, Root Beer Guy? How's your day, man?
I'm doing swell, bro. You? It's a nice Sunday. It's beautiful weather outside where I'm living.
Alright. Just making sure everything's set up correctly. Hope everybody's having an awesome day today. Cool, and looks like we are almost set. So while the game is being created underway, let me show everybody the map bands that we have on right now. So the map of choice is Volskaya Foundry. So in terms of map bands, Fancy Flightless Fowl banned Dragon Charm Battlefield of Eternity. Wildheart Omega has banned Garden of Terror and Cursed Hollow here. So, hey Root Beer Guy, you ready, my man? All right.
Yeah.
Everybody's ready. It's going to be a nice on-time start. And we're going to get into a draft in a couple of minutes. The games are getting started. Gonna give a little treat for my doggy for joining me on the stream. Bishop, buddy.
I'm just gonna pretend that I'm the dog in the video.
Good boy. All right. So we have finish all this setup real quick. Alfie. All right, both sides are ready. Hopping into draft right now.
Okay.
Okay, well, Scott Foundry. Here, I mean, I guess in terms of...
It's all about point control.
I think, you know, typical bands coming out. Chromie, I think Cassie would scale. Any heroes that scale would be very nice. We have Uther being banned on Wildheart Omega here. So no chance for a double support or an Uther main tank play. Would be banned on the side of Fancy Flightless Fowl. Yo, what's up, Goon? Goon on here, cheering on Wildheart. Here we go.
Yeah, let's say he's got to be here to watch his teams.
All right, then we have a Joanna ban.
Joe ban, Chromie. Yeah, I was gonna say if Chromie's not taken, you got to take her on this map.
I find that Joanna ban interesting. I wonder if that's like a target ban or whatnot. But Cassia has been picked by Brown Bala on the side of Wildheart Omega, and we have a Snap picked.
Snap Leoric Zul'jins.
I mean, I'm finding Zul'jin popular on this map just to stack because usually, like the same with
it's so easy to
Zul'jin
stack,
or Zebo or other late game heroes. It's so easy to get to the late game here. Frosty Wind picking up a Stukov.
Yep, I love the Stukov pick.
We're still on side of Wildheart Omega, missing a main. Oh, the
Sonya. Sonya's a really hot commodity. I've seen recently. Just that W build.
I wonder if that elusive patch ever comes out, if Sonya start getting banned too.
They said like next week, so this upcoming week I
Hmm.
anticipate
We got a band
something.
of May on the side of Fancy Flightless Fowl. Tanks are running low. Still got the Diablo, the Garrosh. But the DPS been being picked up very quickly on both sides.
Mm.
Ooh, these tanks. That list is getting shorter and shorter. Diablo being banned on the side of Wildheart Omega.
Yeah, no Diablo, no Joe, no May. Those are, in my opinion, the
Yeah.
top three tanks right now. Yeah.
So could look for. I mean, first thoughts come to mind. We got the Garrosh. We have. Um, I mean, if they're looking for stuns, yep, there we go.
And an ETC.
That's interesting. Like they could definitely have like a pretty nasty stun comp here, especially if ETC goes Mosh Pit and with the Light Bomb.
Hmm. I actually really like the Anduin pick because if Cassia goes into Valkyrie, which usually in these kind of games they do, it's a nice pullback, and you can also pull people out of Stukov's root and silence. So I actually really like the Anduin pick.
And Li Ming and Mirrodin.
Gleaming
You know
Murder.
what I'd really love to see is Herbitronic and Genji Boy doing a light bomb like Wraith Walk. That would be something I would love to see.
Hmm. What do you see as a second DPS here?
So they need a mage. Hmm. I'd like to see. So we got
Mage
Orphea Jaina,
definitely wouldn't be too terrible.
Sylvanas.
Sylvanas. That's still good.
All right. Goon here saying that Lupus has his comfort pick with the Mirrodin. All right, we're gonna be looking forward to it. Cool, cool. So no swaps going out as we head into game one, Wildheart Omega versus Fancy Flightless Fowl. Any thoughts on how this game is gonna go?
Mike, I actually I really like both drafts, and the thing is if Wildheart like win the first protector, it's just stack city for Zul'jin. Um,
Especially with that new level one talent that's been out for a couple of weeks now.
hmm uh, Reckless, yeah. It's all about not stacking the Zul'jin early. I think if they do a good job of not stacking the Zul'jin and not making him OP in the late game, um, they'll have a much easier time.
I'll go ahead and introduce the Fancy Flightless Fowl team. So on the dark, we have Herbitronic, Zul'jin on Alfie, TKS Tanksa with the ETC, Batman on Sylvanas, and finally coming to rears, Genji Boy on Anduin.
On Wildheart Mega, we have Lupus on Muradin, Li Ming, Apparition on Li Ming, Frosty Wind on Stukov, Colonel Pants for Sonya, and Brown Bala on
Sweet.
Cassia.
And game one has just started. Looks like Zul'jin is going that busted level one. ET still holding his pick here.
Oh yeah.
Going the block.
Everything else is troll pick. Literal troll pick.
Got the Sonya W build with the Cassia Q stack questing. And Mirrodin going Q.
Muradin, I would say Muradin holding. I didn't
Oh,
know if he was
Alfie
going to go
getting
Q or the
silence
E.
focus. That's nice follow up with the stun and the silence from Stukov and Mirrodin there.
That's exactly what Goon wanted to see in the first minute.
Wildheart
That
Omega
feels
coming
good.
out, both half health, but Stukov should be able to heal that up pretty quickly as Sonya and Leor go down to their respective solo lanes.
Yeah, Zul'jin can't stack if he's dead. Red immediately going to go start clearing top. Muradin just being Muradin and not letting them rotate.
Nice job by Lufus, just anchoring the bushes and making sure to disrupt, just like you were saying. Sylvanas is being held up top while Zul'jin and Anduin are going to be going for their camp once it comes out in 3 seconds, with Lyric joining them. That leaves Batman and ETC on clear and rotation duty as Cassia, Brown Ball, and Frosty Wind clear their own camp. Sonya pushing the bottom wave here, getting a really good push down.
Yeah, Leo's not going to Sonya just yet. He's not going to win the wave clear, so you just let it come to the forts yet. He needs 4 to get Neil Peasants, and then he'll start clearing the wave a little bit sooner, but until then, you're just not going to win in a clear fight with her.
Alfie coming up the stack. Herbitronic silence stunned. Gets out just in time with some healing from Genji Boy. Brown Ball looking a little bit low.
Ooh.
Everybody gets out.
Cassia thinking she was going to die. She went ahead and popped the turret, Losing that turret so soon sucks.
And Alfie still holding onto the turn. Lupus and Brown Ball of Frosty Wind trying to start this healbot camp.
So they actually have 5 up here, so it's actually not a bad idea to start doing this, but they need to do it quick before Leo comes, and Leo is on his way up.
Anduin gets stunned. Nice, huge orb from Li Ming here. Sonya coming in with one more hit, maybe? Oh!
Anduin with literally 13
Colonel
HP getting his way
down
out.
10 HP and is down. Big heals coming up from Stukov and Genji Boy. And
They're all so low.
TKS Tanks that has to leave.
She just needs some sort of reset.
Especially since TKS Tanks that does not have all of his health. Has to give the healbot camp to Wildheart Omega here. Savant's making quick work clearing the ways while Wildheart Omega clears the mid camp. Lorik and Sonya on solo lane duty while both teams go for their own siege camps here. Brown Ball and Frosty Wind on the side of Wildheart Omega, and Alfie and Batman.
Yeah, the timing's right. Well, these teams aren't heroic. They know the timings on these kind of things.
Lupus trying to get a stack on some Stormbolt here. He's up to 7 stacks right now. Lupus still has the healing Merc. Remember Zul'jin. Wait, they use their... they use their turret?
They use their turret, yeah.
TKS Tanks are getting the first couple of seconds on this objective here. While Sonya comes on up to try to contest it.
They're just going to soak till 7. Li Ming's going to clear that camp and come down.
Looks like the siege camps on the sides of Wildheart Omega are already pretty full. So Li Ming's going to be able to rotate a little bit earlier than expected. Zul'jin at 7 stacks if you want Axe.
I think it's 5 for every 1, so it's like 35 at that point.
Both players posturing still on the side of Wildheart Omega that's being channeled. Both turret camps are up. Sylvanas starting the first one. And Cassie and Brown Ball and Frosty Wind clearing theirs.
Oh, almost got that Leo in the middle there.
Oh yeah, Herbitronic.
So this is still going to favor Wildheart just because they still have a healing camp. They both have turrets, but they still have a healing camp.
It's interesting. They're saying the Li Ming to clear the ways, probably depending on the Sonya to pick up the mid bot soak while also doing a little bit of W damage there. Li Ming coming down as Lorik is stuck top.
This is where you'll push in.
No progress on the objective yet.
Yeah.
Coming up on the side of Wildheart Omega's 5 are on the point from 66%.
It'll be 5v5. Sylvanas is still in bottom clearing. But Red did get the point contest.
Both teams pretty even levels. Zul'jin pops his... Oh.
The Li Ming chunks, man.
Apparition is doing a really good job following up these stuns with her orbs. And Li Ming did go orb build with Calamity at 7. Lupus going the...
Fancy Flightless Fowl finally taking an EXP lead in this game.
Both teams looking to... Cassie and Sonya are splitting off to bot and top wave. We're going to see if...
They're just trying to get 10 real quick.
This big orb on the Alfie. Apparition is just poking the bejesus out of this team as level 10s come up.
They did get 10. Avatar, Wave of Force, Swipe, Lightning Ball. So they did not
come
go
up for the
Valkyrie.
side of Flightless Fowl.
And Berserker.
Alright. Looks like Frosty Wind and Lupus get into the Protector. They try to chunk a little bit of the wall mid fort. Looks like they're just playing a little bit safe as Sonya and Leoric are just brawling it out in bot lane. The Protector looks like it's going to be staying mid while Li Ming and Cassie try to get value up top.
Yeah, you can see this Protector is they're just coming in, slightly hitting things, and then coming back out. They just don't want to stack this Zul'jin, and they're actually just going to leave it.
Li Ming gets stunned by, and then entombed by Herbitronic. Brown Ball tries to get pulled out, but the Lightning Ball comes. Brown Ball half HP as Mirrodin comes out to help peel for the team. Nice stun on the Leoric. Big orbs and Calamity on Herbitronic.
Big damage.
I'm basically just trying to run out this Punisher here.
Yeah, I think it's just more along the lines of we don't want you to have it, so we're just gonna let it run out,
Very sick. Lupus,
and they don't want
did
to
you see
stack
that
this whole
Lupus
gen.
stun on
Yep.
Sylvanas? Right when Sylvanas finished the E, throws a stun right perfectly to get that stack. They were doing some work top with the soak as both teams start to reset, going back to lane. Zul'jin and Anduin going again for their Merc camp. It's interesting, like in Diamond and my low Master Storm League games, I don't see camp timings like this. This is
Yeah.
like, oh, stunned by ETC.
Oh,
Rooted by
Murden getting
Boy,
stunned. Is he gonna?
and Avatar comes out with the Entomb though. ETC does not quite get the live bomb.
Yep, he had to lay the healing camp because he was afraid he was gonna die.
Almost.
When Fancy Flightless Fowls will take that, they'll take that trade.
A light bomb, Anduin. I love to see it. Both teams look like they're TKS tanks are posturing on the
Hey,
heal camp. Decides to come out.
buddy, I will always take light bomb for you, man. You ever see me go, what, Word of Salvation or something? I don't even know what it's called. The other old, no thank you.
So Sonya did pop Wrath of the Berserker down bot to push Leoric away just a little bit, but it's going to get some big damage on that bot turret. As Zul'jin's halfway stacked too. It's definitely by the third protector, seems like Zul'jin will have like fully stacked D1 axe. It's going to be super scary, don't you think?
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta think, man, even if they, let's say they use the protector how we see the protector being used normally, he'd have, what, 6 or 7 more of those stacks? Easily.
Alphian team focusing on that heal bot camp. Turn goes down.
Both teams with 13. Ults almost all on both sides. They get them in 3
has to clear
seconds.
a little bit more bot lane, allowing Fancy Flightless Fowl to get the heal bot camp. Both teams just looking to play on points. And not
Oh yeah, no need to feed into that Zul'jin.
Lupus looking for a stun here. Lupus at 21 stacks with the Mirrodin right now. And Cassie's at 23 with her Q quest. Oh, that orb hit so hard on the ETC. Looks like ETC did go, of course, the Mosh Pit cooldown reduction talent on 13.
Yep.
Li Ming gets silence. Oh, the Entomb stops the ETC slide.
It's a good jump out of it from it though.
I'm really liking the Entombs from Herbitronic here. He's really aggressive,
Yeah.
just using them whenever he can. I think once that silence comes out, these Entombs are just going to be so nasty.
So Entomb down and Wailing Arrows down.
Still got the Light Bomb and the Mosh Pit.
And Wildheart has all of theirs besides Wrath of the Berserker.
Sonya doing some heavy work at the bottom fort here. I wonder, what are your thoughts?
Oh, Sylvanas is going to be ganking on the Sonya on down bottom.
Skiing in, Sonya trying to duke, she's going to be taken out. Whirlwind coming out with the Wrath.
She will die.
Not quite going to live. Good gank by Fancy Flightless Fowl here. Anduin still on the point trying to cap with ETC, just blocking the way from Wildheart Omega. Mirrodin just one more Q away from stacking his Stormbolt quest, as looks like Zul'jin and Sylvanas. Sylvanas' trait has to be up. Not gonna use it quite yet. They're just going to try to take that bot camp as Cassia is the main person to rotate down. Li Ming is on top, capping the point. This is a 5-person Fancy Flightless Fowl on the bot fort.
Oh, and once again, Cassia lays a turret, fearing that she will die.
And I do wonder, because I know that a lot of the higher level teams, they just don't think much of the Punisher. Like, I wonder if the next patch is going to buff the Punisher in some way. That would be a really cool change to see.
As much as I would like to, I don't think they'll be working on map changes all too often.
A shame, a shame.
Oh yeah, a big shame.
So Sonya did go the Giant Killer ult on 16, Li-Ming with the Magic Missiles Mirror Ball build. Soljin going W build with 16. Sylvanas with the auto tag build, cooldown reduction on the Shadow Dagger as well as the Q damage.
I'm honestly surprised at Leoric taking the Drain at 13 and 16 and not the auto attack. Maybe it's because his Cassia blinds. That's the only thing I can guess is Cassia blind. He doesn't want to get blinded and not heal, so he's just taking the W's for it. I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, or maybe the defense against the Protector, but most likely maybe Entomb. Oh, ETC gets focus. That lose the heal camp. Alfie and Genji Boy are stuck. Light Bomb comes out. Can Genji Boy come out? Sidesteps Muradin's Stormbolt.
Oh,
Alfie and Genji Boy in a tough spot, surrounded by Wildheart Omega, but both get out. Good job by Genji Boy just avoiding death there.
I really loved the stun by the Muradin and then Stukov follow up the silence.
Lupus is really just stacking off those Qs here. I mean, a lot of people find trouble, at least me, find trouble like trying to hit reliable Qs, but Lupus is on point with the Qs tonight. Cassia on the Loric.
Oh, slightly preemptive right there.
Ford is down from Wildheart Omega. Looks like both teams are resetting again with Fancy Flightless Fowl, about half a level lead up on their 18s. Next objective will be spawning bottom. Looks like both siege camps are up as both teams are going to their respective merc camps.
While the Flightless Flowers do still have their bottom fort, they don't have the well anymore. So the bottom is kind of free for either one. I don't see a fort with less than 20%.
Oh, the stun, the root follow-up, Lightning Bomb coming out. That's some coordination from there. Lupus trying to get some stacks, but Brown Ball also getting caught in Entomb, but...
Oh, but they got the...
Brown Ball reverses it, Mosh Pit comes out.
Beautiful. Woo! Countering.
Brown Ball gets Entomb, but does not get scared at all. Saying, you're trapped with me. Nice reverse from Brown Ball there, as well as the rest of the team. Wildheart Omega following up.
That is exactly what they want to do.
Colonel Pants popping Wrath, trying to take down this mid fort. Looks like they will get it. Herbitrine may not be coming up in time to defend it. As the top merc camp gets pushed in. Apparition, Frosty, and Brown Ball clearing the bot way so they can clear the way to get the bottom fort also. Both teams pretty even now in levels. 20's coming up. See, ignore armor coming from Sonya.
Pretty sad. Ignore pain, infinite ball lightning, the swipes, repulsion, and rewind. So there's a cute little trick with the Stukov swipes where if you hold taking your 20, if you swipe, it'll swipe 3 times, and then when you take your 20, it gives you 2 more swipes. So you actually have 5 swipes, and a total of simply not taking your 20.
Unfortunately, getting caught out. But we'll come back pretty quickly with his trait. Oops. Lupus and friends clearing that camp while on the side of Flightless Fowl. They're going to be trying to steal the bottom turret as the objective spawns up. Slight push.
In the meantime, Blue did come over and take their turret camp, though.
Mosh Pit will be up in 15 seconds. Loric will be up in also 15 seconds. As Wildheart Omega tries to push this advantage.
Wildheart Omega will be taking this up, pull down. He did not go into double pull. He did take Variance Legacy.
Do you think why the choice for Variance Legacy here?
More damage, and it does heal Anduin. And quite frankly, he hasn't been having to pull too many people anyways.
Probably easy to auto attack the Mirrodin.
So I think it's more along the lines of they're the ones that want to be doing the engaging, not being engaged on. But just like they just did.
So, oh, like last time, even though they get the Lupus kill, reverse that
Reverse
Leaving his
kill.
silence.
Sony doing an absolute great job just
Alfie
stopping the
hitting
ignore
the
pain.
gleaming hit. Frosty Wind unfortunately going down. Brown Ball coming out with that static electricity. So much damage here as Chrome Pants chases the rest of the team. Fancy Flies Fowl with the Wrath. Genji Boy heading down. Herbitronic does still have that healing camp. Throws it down.
He's quickly getting rid of it, knowing he's gonna die.
Leo does have
really?
that level W talent you were talking about earlier. Brown Ball in a little bit of trouble. Pops the mount.
I honestly was like, okay, they kill those two.
That was
but
a
no.
nasty team fight.
So much healing for the W's from
Good
York.
focus from both sides, starting with that Lupus kill, but Wildheart Omega but responding back with kills of their own. They're finally going to Fancy Flies Foul. That was an awesome fight to see. You have Genji Boy on the point. 3 Merc camps up. Sonya's taking the siege camp here. I mean, that's a nasty combo they have. The ETC stun followed by Genji Boy's root along with the Entomb Silence. I'm glad I'm not being Lupus right now. I'm going into this team.
Oh, yeah. I do feel bad for Tanksta too. He's doing such a good job of sliding in, and then he's just getting absolutely melted.
We're trying scouting that Merc.
Herbitronic just coming in, doing a little bit of scouting.
Slight advantage on the side of Wildheart Omega in terms of building damage.
The Fowls are going to leave right here just because Sylvanas was top. They don't want to fight a 4v5. In the meantime, they're going to be taking that healing camp too.
They take the objective. More stacks for Zul'jin. Zul'jin's almost done.
That's less than 5 auto attacks.
Pushing in with this camp. Try to take top 4 while on the side of Wildheart Omega. They're going to go for a counter push. Trying to get the wall.
They're taking the wall so that if they do get the objective, they're setting up for ending. And you do see the Fowls end up backing. Anduin a little bit slower than the others.
They do have a pretty strong Merc camp here going top, so someone has to clear that Merc camp, or they could, if this fight drags on too much, start to lose the wall and maybe the top keep.
They just risk this because if they get a couple kills, they end here.
Again, only putting one person
so
in one person in the protector here. That's Mirrodin. They were playing up front, looking for the Entomb. Zul'jin did complete his quest.
I think it's actually somewhat smart to keep one spot available because if anyone gets entombed, if they walk close to the protector, they can get inside of it.
Zul'jin stacking and stacking on that protector at 34 stacks. The Frosty Wing gets silenced, gets caught in the Entomb. ETC slide comes out, and Leroy gets a final hit on Frosty Wing. But Herbitronic puts down his life for that.
They do the trade, and they get the ETC, and they get the healing camp in the meantime.
To get the Colonel Pants kill, but does not. Apparition still has the heal camp.
It's 4v3 still.
Poking and poking.
If they get a kill, this is GG.
The top Merc camp looks like it got taken down, so no.
We're seeing a bit of a Mexican standoff going on right now.
That keep 3,402.
Both teams are just saying, "Yep."
One more hit with any ability, and that keep goes down.
Yeah, I think, yeah, they leave here. Leoric's gonna be back. They don't want to get entombed.
Looking to press their. Oh no, it's 4v4.
Or do they?
Lupus hiding in the bush, looking for. No one saw Lupus.
Zul'jin
silence Zul'jin. Nice W coming out with the kill. Apparition throws out the healing camp. Batman on the Sylvanas gets caught in the conveyor belt. Zul'jin pops the. What's it called? Tazdingo.
Doing an absolute great job of living there when Sonya is just spinning on him.
Apparition looking for a quick kill, not quite. Enough damage there to connect for some resets.
Nice. Who he wanted it on. He wanted it on the Zul'jin. Right now, it's going to be 4v5 for about 34 more seconds. That gives the Fowls the chance to take everything on the map. Good swipe, good jump.
The amount of CC on the side of Fancy Flightless Fowls is just insane here. I mean, we got Silence Entomb, Light Bomb, Root from Anduin, ETC Slide, Mosh Pit. While on the side of Wildheart Omega, it's going to be a lot tougher, even though they have much more blow-up capability. It's going to be a matter of, lining up CCs.
This one's all about patience here. But Wildheart does have that bottom keep, so that's going to be continuing to push.
Wildheart coming in to steal the Fancy Flightless Fowls turn camp. As Fancy Flightless Fowls clears the top mercs. Both teams just playing it safe until the next objective here. In terms of hero damage, I mean, Zul'jin's already scaled up with the quest, 55,000 hero damage, as opposed to the 65,000 coming from the Li Ming, with Cassia not too far behind. So there is way more damage on the side of Wildheart Omega.
They did do a really good job in the early game of not feeding that Zul'jin, though.
10 kills to 11.
Even though he's stacked now, it was important to not stack him way earlier.
Wildheart Omega maybe trying to take a bottom route into this objective. Maybe the conveyor belt into... Not quite. They're trying to sneak... Are they trying to sneak a left flank? Lupus providing vision here with Apparition too. Making sure that only 1 or 2 people Colonel Pants and Brown Ball is showing bot.
Wildheart trying to get them to call their bluff.
I mean, just trying to get some bot push so that they can go ahead and hop on the objective here.
You get some of these danger pings coming out.
Colonel Pan.
Sylvanas is top too, so they're not going to be engaging.
67% to 10% here.
The Fowls have time. They can wait it out.
I mean, double silence with the Leoric Sylvanas, like multiple stuns with the ETC and the Light Bomb. This is going to be a really scary team fight.
This is for all the marble right here, boys.
Hopping out.
And girls.
Both teams posturing just to get some better positioning, while Fancy Flightless Fowls takes the point. 70% away from taking this next Punisher. Lupus is in, clearing the way for his team. Li Ming coming in with the big orb. Herbitronic, just gets popped by Li Ming.
Leoric does go down so quickly. ETC about to go down also.
Sylvanas Silence coming out with Colonel Pants at around 400 HP. Leoric's going to come up pretty quickly. Maybe just probably not in time for that objective to get captured by Wildheart Omega. They're going to be looking to probably head bot as Lupus and friends try to get the bottom merc camp.
Yeah, they're going to give up this. They're going to give up this protector and just try to fight him off on core. This is going to be a 25-minute protector, though.
Lupus hopping into the protector as they march towards the core. Herbitronic.
Same thing as before. They're only putting one person in the driver's seat.
They're going. Looks like they're going mid. Go for a mid wall. Trying to play it a little bit more conservatively here. Herbitronic coming out with the W talent that just takes a slightly bigger chunk from that protector. Herbitronic going W for days. Gets chunked for about quarter HP. But no worries, Genji Boy healing up Herbitronic very nicely here. Brambala and Apparition just trying to poke out as much damage as they can on Fancy Flightless Fowls. The Entomb comes out.
Oh, the Entomb ends up missing the Sonya.
Ignore Pain comes out for Colonel Pants. And that TKS Tanksta blinks out with the Anduin pull.
Blinks out and gets pulled by the Anduin.
Lightning Ball getting a little bit of damage on Fancy Flightless Fowls here as Wildheart Omega goes for the mid wall. That mid keep is disabled just for a couple of seconds. Both teams are looking to reset now. Lupus looking for... Nope, not posturing for kill.
We're really in the territory of just one mistake, one kill, really just ends it for your team.
Cheeky hiding here. Looks like they're going to try to go 3 cats bot. They're going to try to go for an end here. All 5 members.
The Fowls are now backing.
Lyric is staying just for a little bit. You have 3 cats coming on core as 4 members of Fancy Flightless Fowl come up. ETC pushes the catas just for a little bit.
ETC doing a good job. Yeah, good job pushing those catas away. Just stopping the pressure there.
Get the stun on the ETC. Sonya follows up along with the silence from Frosty Wind. ETC gets deleted. Alfie coming up to defend. Leoric is coming from the bot side to flank. Can he come up in time? 49% on the core. Colonel Pants with the Wrath just demolishing the score.
Oh, that's to be GG.
GG on the side of Wildheart Omega. Very nice playing from both sides. I mean,
the stun onto that ETC, the combo, Muradin jumped, hit him with the Q, Sonya stun, and then Stukov with the silence in the root. ETC never had a chance.
And it was really interesting to see the different playstyle, like on the side of, Fancy Flightless Fowls are just going for the blow up. The CC was just out the wazoo, but the damage was just too much from Wildheart Omega there. In game summary now, Cassia topped Apparition in terms of damage with the static electricity and the Q quest. The Zul'jin, I thought he was going to get a little bit more damage, but looks like Lupus was just almost always out of range for Zul'jin to get any.
It was all about not stacking him early, and so he never could take off. I think it was the right decision, 100% on Wildheart's side, to keep the protector on their side and just not even go for it. It's so weak in the early game. The most you're going to get out of it is a well anyways. So why would you stack the Zul'jin so much? Honestly, I love that idea.
And it's like, it seemed like on the side of Fancy Flightless Fowls, their execution lied within the ETC and the Anduin, but gosh, like with, Apparition, Lupus, and Frosty Wind just stacking or putting together the orb, the stun from the Q stun from Muradin, and the silence from Frosty Wind. Ooh, it's just a nasty situation to be in if I was on Fancy Flightless Fowl.
I also like how Anduin was the only character in the whole game to just not die. With 100,000 healing also.
I mean, that escape top lane where he just throws out his light bomb and just gets him and Alfie out. That was some good self-peeling there. So
it was good.
I don't find many fancy Anduin builds plays, but Genji Boy getting those sidesteps out and saving his team. Those heals, just 73,000 from Frosty Wind against 100,000 from Genji Boy. Ooh, Anduin. I'm super quiet. Thanks for letting me know, Smork. I will turn up my mic here. All right, get this microphone a little bit closer. All right, so Fancy Flightless Fowls go into game 2, just 1 down. We're going to see what map gets picked next. Ooh. Dest of Da says Frosty OP. Yes. Frosty's a beast on that Stu call. I think both healers played very well that game. It was very fun that game to watch both healers work their magic there.
I like seeing with me being a support player, I like seeing, different. For example, I never go Variance Legacy. I always go double pull. So it's just nice to see people pick something. And we're Div A players, man. So it's nice to see heroic players picking something else, because in my head I go, why would they do this? They obviously know more than I do because I'm just a scrub.
You know what? I was talking about Zul'jin not being able to get as much damage, but I mean, I also totally forgot about the level 4 talent from Stukov there. I thought that level 70, that the 75 physical armor was going to be buffed with that last patch a month ago, but they never touched it. Or just nerfed, sorry. I thought they were going to nerf the 75 physical armor on Stukov's level 4 talent with the...
So it only gives 75 when you pop your D, and it's only just for a couple seconds. I think they lowered the passive from 15.
I just feel like 10. With the level 7 Stukov targeted Excision, that's like 75 armor every 5 seconds if the support player plays it really well. But yeah, GG's that game.
I mean, if you play it that well, you kind of deserve it. That's how I feel.
All right, so while we're waiting to set up game 2, all right, looks like game 2 will be on Infernal Shrines. So again, Wildheart Omega did capture that first map. Pretty long game, like you were mentioning too, Root Beer. I mean, 25, 27 minutes. Shows like how much patience they had.
That's honestly that's just Volskaya in general. I really rarely see Volskaya games that end before 20. That's why it's so good to pick characters that have these giant level 20 spikes, because you know the game's going to get to 20.
All right. Casters are ready. This map, definitely with Towers of Doom, 2 favorite maps in Heroes of the Storm. I mean, I just love the fight up the objective, especially as a like person who loves playing Sonya here. I wonder if Sonya's going to come up again in this game, or maybe we'll see a Sonya ban. Like I'm waiting for it, but too many good meta heroes right now.
They're picking all of my favorite maps so far. If we get a game 3 and it's Towers of Doom, this is going to be an amazing map for me.
I totally agree with that. All right, so first ban will be from Fancy Flightless Fowl. I feel like this team picked that name so the casters would tie their tongues like I'm doing every single time trying to say their names.
Yeah, I was at this point, man.
As Fowl singular, it's just one penguin, one Fancy Flightless Fowl here.
Bad. I'm gonna
The
call the
penguins. So
Penguins.
same bands coming out from both sides.
Classic ban. That was the first ban last game also. Uther again, first ban. So they must know something we don't. Or they just think Uther's bonkers. He is bonkers.
So many heroes, I feel like on the chopping board to get nerfed, but I would like to see who gets buffed. I mean, as a tank player, I never see Arthas get played. Let's see some Arthas buffs.
I don't think Uther's in the category where he needs to be nerfed. I think he's underplayed anyways.
Ruby, are you just saying that so that you can play him more?
No. I think if we're I don't think any healer is busted right now. Obviously Stukov and Brightwing are still the best in my opinion, but I don't think there's any healer that needs to be significantly nerfed. You have your classic player thing that I think Diablo needs nerfed. Tychus is really strong. Chromie's really strong.
Speaking of Chromie, Batman takes the Chromie. Batman was playing Sylvanas last game, but already scary first pick here.
I think Chromie is just so good on this map just because of the stupid sand traps. It's so easy to control, and we see a Cassia and Sonya pick up again. If it doesn't go wrong, then why change it?
And Bramballa did a great job. It seemed like 1 or 2 entombs where Cassie gets entombed, but then Bramballa just reverse engages on them. It was a very nice play from the Cassia there. Fancy Flightless Fowl on to their second picks here. We have Diva and Joanna for some awesome objective clear.
Yeah. The Penguins pick so far are just such classic Infernal Shrines. Diva, you pretty much almost get 10 monkeys, skulls, whatever people call them. You almost get 10 of those for free, and Joe is so good at collecting them and letting Chromie hit them from afar. So every pick here, I love these
Fancy
so far.
Flightless Fowl, like very challenging objective clearing here. Though Colonel Pants, like last game, did like going the Wrath Sonya.
Oh, no, super. I wonder what Wildheart's going to pick on as a healer.
So we got the Brightwing that's up. That's the main.
And they get rid of Lupus's Muradin. They said no thank you to that.
Joe
Joe
Smo in chat says that Hogger is open too, but Sonya's already been picked and Diva's already been picked. I would love to see Double Bruiser though. I mean,
you can see. Yeah,
I would love to see Double Bruiser here. Frosty win on Lucian. Oh,
Lucio,
Mephisto. An annoying hero to play against.
I think the worst thing as a Mephisto player is seeing a Chromie on the other side because they can always go the rewind bullcrap ult. And so when you E in, if you rewind them, it makes them go back to where they E'd in at.
Lucio does. I'm seeing a lot more Lucios going the high five. Maybe they're trying to prevent the Chromie with the high five. And there is.
We do. Yeah, we do get the double bruiser on this side.
Smo calls the Hogger for fancy flightless fouls here. And Alfie plays the Hogger on fancy flightless fouls. Woo! This is going to be a fun game to watch.
I actually love their draft so much.
One final pick, Lupus, the tank player of Wildheart Omega. Let's see what he ends up with on this map.
We may.
Predicted correctly, good sir. Another strong draft. Nothing too crazy, except we got a double bruiser on the side of fancy flightless fouls. I'm really stoked about this.
Ice Wall's too good. You'll be able to stall like Diva's Deck Explosion with it if you have to. You can stop Hogger while he's unstoppable or whatever, because it's a stasis, and you can block off people from the shrines themselves. It's too good. Not pick it in this particular instance.
Batman on Chromie, that's like a huge wall in front of him. He's gonna be able to do all the damage and have all the fun he can. All right, heading into game 2, Fancy Flightless Fouls versus Wildheart Omega. Wildheart Omega is up by 1 game. Again, 2 strong, scary drafts on both sides as we head into game 2. All right, so on the side of Wildheart Omega, we have Apparition on the Mephisto, Brown Ball on the Cassia, Colonel Pants on the Sonya, Frosty Win on Lucio, and finally Lupus on the May.
And on the Penguin side, we have Alfie on the Hogger, Batman on the Chromie, Tanksta on the Joanna, Gingy Boy on Brightwing, and Herbatronic on Diva. You can't swap me up, man. You can't make me do the other team one game.
Let's try to keep it even and fun.
I was watching Wildheart's side, and you start naming them off like, oh, wait. Wrong side.
All right. Looks like Sonya's Colonel Pants is trying to decide if he wants to engage or go up to top lane. The wave clear looks way easier from Fancy Flightless Fouls here, as Diva goes ahead and goes to top lane. Hogger spinning.
Diva already getting the soak started.
Both players rotating. Frosty Wind looking to disrupt this rotation here. Gets the Alfie.
Lucio being an annoying Lucio player.
I love seeing good Lucio players when they're not on my team.
Oh, that ain't me, bud.
He's so hard to play, but man, it's such a nice art when like top level players play Lucio. Herbatronic gets caught just quickly.
So if you're gonna rotate on the Diva,
and Herbatronic, Brightwing gets the heal. Genji Boy gets the heal out. 5-man just stacked up, and they get chunked. Apparition, Bomball, Lupus are super low, but Lucio will be able to heal them up pretty quickly.
Great save by the Penguins. And they lost a bunch of soak for that. Lack of kill.
Bottom train getting contested. Chromie getting a lot of damage here. Chromie just poking for days. It's 5-man bot in this camp as Diva's double soaking top and mid. And Colonel Pants heading on up on soaking duty as both teams start their siege camps. We're trying to getting half turned here. As Sonya just bullying with that W build. We're trying to already at half health.
I'm honestly surprised that Wildheart lost some soak, and yet they're now ahead. That or equal.
Top camp getting started slightly earlier than on Wildheart Omega, than Fancy Flightless Fowl here. And we're seeing a slight skirmish mid as both teams try to clear the siege camps here. Lupus diving on in, trying to get that Brightwing, but TKS Tanksta peels with their W.
Brightwing did burn
May
her
is
cleanse.
getting... Oh, shield comes
With
out
a
for
long
Lupus.
cooldown. But she did go Magic Spit, which does reduce it to 6 seconds every time she attacks a hero.
Ah, interesting talent choice.
Oh, Mephisto and Spite, he did not go Static Barrier also. I'm actually a big fan of Spite, especially on this map where it's so easy to get globes.
All right. All 5 team members coming down. Sonya getting a little bit of soak.
Hogger not getting the infinite rotate on there.
Oh, Chromie's timestamp.
Ooh, slight this time on those.
25% HP here. 20 monkeys. The skeletons are 26 to 11 right now. 4 fancy flightless fowls here.
I heard you call monkeys.
I never know what to call them. Monkeys, skulls, skeletons. Oh, May.
So D.Va is top, so they do have a little bit of an advantage here still.
But this is an interesting...
But they're losing a lot.
They didn't lose by that much. It was a very interesting play while D.Va gets some value top, taking that top wall down along with the Merc camp. I mean, you have Joanna, Chromie, Hogger getting like relatively good clear on that objective there.
Yeah, it is the first objective. It's not a frozen objective, which I think is the best. So I think he just thought, hey, we might get more value out of this than they will out of the Punisher.
Sonya clearing up that top fort half down. So it's like they might get like almost an even trade here.
Yeah,
Genji Boy in a little bit of trouble, and Apparition goes for the final kill.
Not even anymore.
Hogger flanking from the back. As Wildheart Omega comes out just in time. This D.Va soaking.
Yeah, that did not go in the Penguin's way.
I mean, it's 6,000 HP and then a fort loss from fancily flightless fowls here. Got a 2v1 up top. Colonel Pence tapping here, spinning to win. Genji Boy and Arbitrator really wanting that top fort. Apparition knows they're trying to come in for the camp.
I'm currently loving the rotations on Wildheart. Great spot out from the May to know that the trap's there, so they know the vision.
In terms of talents here, critical miss from Brightwing. This is an unconventional talent build that I see from Brightwing. It's just really fun to see. Really focusing on the soothing mist. I mean, if you're good enough to hit those Qs.
I think they mainly took it because of the May.
Let's check out the healing stats here, if I can find it.
Lucio is ahead by about 4,000. Ults are online for both sides. Wildheart currently, Wrath of Berserker, no change there. Sound Barrier, so no high for you, Xe. Ice Wall, expected that. Ball Lightning again on a Shrine control like this, it makes sense. And Durant to Hate, yeah, very staple for that too.
Both teams just clearing waves until that top shrine will be spawning top here. As Wildheart Omega comes up with a 5-man engage. Oh, but it gets spotted. Chromie slows him with the slowing sands. D.Va trying to get a little bit more value bot.
No surprises on the Fowls. Ults also Horde Pull, Slowing Sands, Shield, Blink Heal, and the Micro Missiles. It's been interesting. I'm curious to see, I guess, what the Fowls would do this time. Are they going to let D.Va double soak again, or are they actually going to have her come to it?
I really like the D.Va double soaking play, just because, I mean, Joanna did go the level 4 Sins Exposed, which is a slight bit more clear on those skeletons. And they did hold their Merc camp just for a little bit more too, but I mean, that Chromie's just going to be able to... Oh, a stun comes out on Lupus and Colonel Pants. Wrath gets popped. TK Stank to pops the trait so she won't get blinded, stunned by May's W. And Mercamps get cleared on both sides here as Wildheart Omega gets an early lead with 8 skeletons on the objective.
D.Va is going to be coming. She does have her bomb up.
Colonel Pants getting a stun on Herbitronic. Herbitronic get chunked to half health. D.Va trying to come in close looking for a bomb. Lupus gets shielded.
Oh, a great sound barrier.
Herbitronic on the back line, decreasing damage. May's Ice Wall hits only one. An Apparition, oh! Barely misses.
Just barely on the Durant.
Whew. Some...
D.Va still has her bomb also.
So ults are down on Wildheart Omega here, so that bomb comes out. Apparition barely gets out with the teleport. Alfie gets stunned from Maze. Snow...
I think they should still stay. They'll get 13 any second now.
Skeletons up 30-22 for Fancy Flightless Fowl. Great job.
Brown Baller very low, having to back
doing
up.
a really great job of keeping this team alive. Especially with that talent choice here. Herbitronic is down.
Oh, D.Va.
Nice peel polymorph from Genji Boy.
So close, 35-37.
Apparition super low, but they do...
And Wildheart does
Batman a little bit low, gets slightly caught out. Nice peel by Alfie with the trait. Apparition comes out with the Durance.
Oh, a Durance.
Ooh. There's some intense fighting from both sides. Wildheart Omega and Fancy Flightless Fowl here. Loving what both teams are trying to do here.
Sonya are just going to go off and start soaking a bit more.
Batman in a precarious position and low mana too. Not going to have much damage from Fancy Flightless Fowls. Batman caught in an ice wall, but no follow-up. Stasis is out to avoid any picks from Apparition. While the Punisher walks up, we see Herbitronic and Colonel Pants just duking it out mid lane. Apparition getting a little bit of poke here. Punisher is pretty much done and gone with. Sonya caps the mid camp to put some more pressure on that mid lane. Wildheart Omega up a level and a half here, gonna get close to 16s. As they do hit level 15 here. Wildheart Omega pressuring that mid fort. Slowing Sands comes out. Blessed Shield on Brown Balla, but Frosty Wind saves it with the shield barrier. Alfie on the back line with Herbitronic.
Pop that bomb, which is just gonna disengage off him. Yeah, Wildheart gets that win there. Blessed Shield down, bomb down.
Almost half a level lead away from level 16 for Wildheart Omega as they march on to this mid fort. D.Va clearing top. Wrath gets popped from Colonel Pants. Chrome just poking for days.
They know it's safe to poke out. C2 bottom, 1 top.
The mid fort will go down with some hits from the siege camps. And D.Va trying to get that top fort, but Wildheart Omega responding as 5.
Chromie trying to scout them out. You can see the little danger pings there.
D.Va avoiding the scout from Lupus there as Wildheart Omega looks to invade the Bruiser camp with their 16 level lead.
Hey, they got 6.
Alfie is bought with the Hogger here. Trying to get 16s. They're only half a level away from 16s themselves. No fight will come out from Wildheart Omega. It looks like they're going to wait until the Shrine phase here. Someone does have to clear top, though, from Fancy Flightless Fowls. D.Va's siege damage is just piling up. 118,094 from the Sonya.
Well, she did it off, so almost the whole first time the shrines.
D.Va putting her own type of pressure on the map here. Shrine does spawn bot. 16s will come online from Fancy Flightless Fowls here. Since it's going to be going bot lane, the wall is still healthy and fresh on the bot keep.
Are starting. Diva is not even close to having her bomb yet either. It's not reliable to have for this.
By the way there, Colonel Pants getting an early start on the objective as Chromie's slowing sand comes out. TK Stanksa getting a little bit of damage on Lupus while Batman clears a little bit.
Standing in front, trying to get as much as possible.
Brightwing is just waiting to come in. Who will Brightwing porting in on the Joanna as Urba trying to get super low. Joanna gets caught.
The brown ball getting instant deleted.
And Hogger also going down. It's a 4v4 right now. Urbatronic looking very low. Pilot mode comes on now. Durance is popped.
Oh, great.
And Joanna goes down from fancy flightless fouls here. Looks like it's going to be an easier camp on the objectives from Wildheart Omega as Colonel Pants.
We need to clear top, too.
Oh, you're right.
It was just a good fight by Wildheart.
As May gets the final number of skeletons from the objective, Frosty and Apparition get even more pressure with the siege camp here. Siege camp pressure all around. They're holding the objective at 39. Just to get these siege camps to push a little bit more. Does give Joanna a couple of more seconds to spawn. They did get the sidewall here from Wildheart Omega. Maybe looking for...
He gets position on the inside.
Diva pushing top, trying to maybe get a little bit of that fort. Starts to hearth back as the Punisher, which is a mortar pressure, marching to the bot keep. Ults are fully up for both teams. No 20s on Wildheart Omega, though.
It's good unstoppable by Joe, but that's now down now.
Punisher's already down almost a quarter of its health. The keep...
I think Mortar is the weakest of the three, so...
I feel like it just tickles when it does damage. Mortar Punch at half health. As Wildheart Omega marches on the core, Diva Bomb gets popped out. Colonel Pants again doing damage on that core. That W build is just insane.
They are going to be pushing forward, but it is dropping.
The defense is strong. Oh.
Diva's...
Colonel Pants is pretty low here. Colonel Pants also goes down. Joanna's Lupus is also low. Wildheart down 3 to 4.
30%.
13%.
15. 10.
Brown Ball, Frosty win, Apparition. Can they do it? And it is GG. Wildheart Omega takes game 2 for the series. Nice play from both sides there. But I was expecting a little bit...
I think the camp calls were right. It gave them more XP and a better push because they were trying to get 20 mid-fight down bottom. Because 20 mid-fight down bottom, and they definitely end. They did end, but it just makes it even more.
Yeah, I was kind of interested in seeing how Fancy Flightless Fowl's comp would do with their... I mean, double bruiser, but the Joanna Hogger Diva clear on the camp... I just wanted to see, like, would it be able to clear as much? But I think the team fight was just too strong with the Mephisto and Cassia from Wildheart Omega. Alright, we're going to see if someone from Wildheart Omega will be coming out.
Interesting enough, Sonya had top damage for Wildheart.
I'm, like, blocking the stat screen right now.
Including top damage for the Fowls.
Alright. While we are wrapping up this game, we're going to head into Lobby 4 to see if we can get an interview from someone from Wildheart Omega here. Oh. Good. Just playing a little bit of tag here. I'm going to wait for Root Beer Guy to come in.
Yeah.
Hey, congrats for Wildheart Omega on that win. How are you guys feeling in terms of execution today?
We're feeling really good right now, actually.
So in that first and the second game, looked like you guys got on a lot of your comfort picks. Was there some sort of different type of strategy? Because in the second game, and Ruby, feel free to come in. In the second game, it looked like it was the same strategy as the first game, where you just want to throw out that damage whereas from Fantasy Flightless Fowls, the first game was about the CC, whereas the second game was about the more shrine clear. Were you guys just looking for consistency, or were you trying to pull out a weakness from the other team? Like, what was going on in your heads in terms of strategy?
So that kind of stuff, that's just usually what we're pretty comfortable with. We don't try to do anything too exotic in these NGS matches. We've been working on some stuff, of course, and back pockets, but for the regular season, we're not going to do anything too crazy. Um, Definitely, I think the second game it just went a little smoother for us because Infernal Shrines is definitely one of our comfort maps, as opposed to Volskaya, which is a little bit of a it's a questionable map nowadays. The objective doesn't do a whole lot. So when you go and fight, what are you really fighting for? And especially their front line, we're really good with the Leo Entomb about just denying our engages. So second game they didn't quite have as much of that, and I think that partly contributed to our success.
Yeah.
In game one, when you won the Protector, the first Protector, you chose not to really do anything with it. Was it simply just to not stack the Zul'jin? Because really all you're going to get out of it is pretty much a well, and so it's not really worth stacking the Zul'jin.
Yeah, I mean we didn't want to dedicate too many people inside of the Triglav. I mean, I'm sure stacking the Zul'jin was one of our concerns, but another of ours was we were concerned that they would just dive past our team if we put too many in there. And being the offlaner, I couldn't go and support them if that happened. So we kind of just used the Triglav like a HP shield more than anything.
Yeah, because I saw later in the later Protectors, you only put, I think it was Muradin in it, and that was it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, that was a very fun match. Like, in terms of the team fights, it was just going back and forth, back and forth. Like, it was super fun to watch. I can't imagine how fun it was to play those two games, especially game one.
It was, yeah, game one was definitely a nail biter. From our comms, at least, we were like, okay, here's what we can do. Here's what we can do to win, all right?
Yeah, it felt like a real Mexican standoff between you. You were just going back and forth, seeing who would make the first engage.
Yeah, their comp game one really kind of denied those engages that we wanted, and they played it very well for sure.
And gosh, the patient play that you guys had, especially going into that or at the end of game one, like, God, it was like you said, it was a nail biter. So GG's. And Rubier, do you have any other questions before we get some final shout outs from Colonel Pants?
No, not really.
Oh, nice playing, Colonel Pants. Are there any shout outs you'd like to give out before we end this interview?
Yeah, sure. First, I think I'd like to shout out Brown Bala, one of our washed up DPS players. He's been playing out of his mind these last couple games. As well as I'd like to shout out Goon, our manager for Wildheart Omega. He's been helping us a lot with these with some coaching stuff, and he's just been really supportive. So
yeah, he was in chat talking you guys up.
Yeah, and Brown Ball on that Cassia, that damage was insane, and especially the counter picks. Whenever Brown Ball got entombed, like GG's and nice playing from him or her.
Yeah, he was counter engaging out of his mind. People would go in on him. I'm like, oh, he's probably dead, and all of a sudden, two people are dead. I'm like, what happened there?
Well, that was
just ball and fend, man. Lightning ball and fend.
Well, Colonel Pence, thank you so much for joining Rubier Guy and I. That was an awesome game. Congrats again, and looking forward to your next matchup.
And thank you so much for casting.
Of course, our pleasure. Take it easy, man.
You too.
Have a good night, man.
You too.
All right, well, that is our match. Wildheart Omega takes the game 2-0. Rubier Guy, thank you for casting with me again today. Any final words before we leave our viewers for their amazing night?
No, but man, watching casting these heroic games is so different and refreshing for us, because you get to cast people who are masters, grandmasters, and we're just sitting scrubbly in low masters diamond, and so you see different perspective and different play styles. And because I'll tell you what, I've been playing this game since beta, and I've never seen someone not take the Protector when the other team is a Zul'jin.
Yeah.
It's just good. I loved it. Yeah.
I mean, one of these one of these days I want to try to. I mean, if the teams are okay, like going in to hear the comms, because when Colonel Pants was talking about how they were doing comms in the first game as it was back and forth, one of these days, viewers, maybe both teams will let me do comms, because I know it can be kind of, it can, I guess, reveal some strategies or the way that teams play, but I would have loved to hear like how they're like shot calling, how they're coordinating, because both teams, Fantasy Flightless Fowls and the Wildheart Omega, gosh, like their blow up on single targets was just amazing. And
Hold up. You don't like my
I
shot
do love your
calling?
shot calling. I just want to hear other types of shot calling too.
Mm.
All right, cool. Well, anyways, until next time, you guys, I'll be streaming again Tuesday. And Root Beer Guy, thanks as always for joining me, man. Super appreciate it, man.
Same problem.
All right, have a good night, everybody.
Yes.